Hi everyone, I'm Nicola Gutgold and I'm your professor for public speaking. And today we're going to talk about the public speaking transaction. Whenever you prepare for a public speech, you have to think about who's going to be in your audience and what is the best delivery that you need to make in order to reach the needs of your audience. Also, how should you organize your speech? And what kind of planning do you need to do in order to be effective? Unlike conversation, most public speeches are planned in advance. And sometimes very experienced speakers will tell you that they don't plan. And my advice to them is they should. They would be better public speakers if they put in a little time, no matter how experienced they are as public speakers. Some questions that I'd like you to think about as you proceed through this course on public speaking is, why is there a speech? Think about that for a moment. Why is there a public speech? Why can't there just be a memo or maybe a newspaper article? What does public speech do that makes this rhetorical artifact special, important, worthy of our attention? Also, where will the speech be given? Will you have a microphone? Will you have a podium to speak behind? Will the speech be televised? Even the colors of the background of where you're going to be speaking are very important because they will help you prepare to be the best speaker ever. This whole idea of organization of your speech, an introduction, a body, and a conclusion is perhaps the biggest difference between conversation. In conversation, we might simply begin a conversation by saying, hey, but we would never do that in public speaking. And what I'd like you to remember from this course and from me is that public speaking is more formal than conversation. Even though we like to think that we can have a colloquial kind of friendly delivery, just like I'm doing now, we still need to be more polished as public speakers than we are in conversation, because that's part of what public speaking is. It's a public performance, and there is a performative angle, a performative aspect, probably a better word, to our public speaking. You know, I used to joke, but it's not really a joke, that if someone held a gun to my head and said to me, what is the most important skill about public speaking that I should know in order to be successful, I would probably say to them, know your audience. I think I would save my life if I said know your audience. Why do you think that it's so important to know your audience? I want you to think for a moment about all the different kinds of audiences that we may have as public speakers. And maybe even today, in conversation with other people, you had various audiences. And whether you are public speaking or having a conversation, the way you speak to various audiences changes. So age is a big variable in how you're going to speak to your audience. The interests of your audience members is a big deal. How much do they know about your topic? Why are they there? What's their reason for attending your speech? Now, in a class like CAS 100, your reason for being in the class is that you want to earn the credits for this course. But I hope that your reasons for being here go much deeper than that. Because as this course unfolds, I want you to really think about how this course will benefit you. So age, experience, interest, reasons for being there. You know, even some information like the time of day that your speech is going to be received is very important. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a morning person. And if I really want to be at the top of my game, I do something first thing in the morning because you know what? I do it better. I do it with all my attention and all of my energy because that's really the best time of the day for me. But maybe you're not like that. Maybe you're more of an evening person, or maybe your energy is really consistent throughout the entire day. My point is that how you receive the information depends a lot on the kind of person you are when that information is given to you. It's a little bit like reading a book when you're really not interested in that topic. It's a slog, isn't it? And have you ever had to read a book for a class and you just didn't even want to read it? But then someday, far in the future, or maybe even just a few weeks later, you open up the book and for whatever reason, the information in that book just really speaks to you. That is also a consideration when it comes to audience and public speaking. So good speaking involves parts of speech, intro, body, conclusion, the parts of the transitions working together, and we'll talk about those a little later in our semester, as well as the needs of the audience to receive the information. And so when we talk next, we're going to be discussing making your life better through expression and public speaking. That's chapter 1.